I've been on staff now for just about 10 months, come from California, and excited about the opportunity to be here. Well, my introduction to museums and why I saw museums as a career came when I was 12 years old. My parents asked me what I wanted to do for vacation, and I said, I want to see museums. I can't tell you why I said that, but we spent 2 weeks doing nothing but driving around the East Coast of the United States looking at museums. And on one of the museums we were at, there was a sign that talked about a young man and talked about what he did in this spot. And I can still remember to this day standing there looking at it and saying, I want to know how they know that, and that's what I want to do. I got a degree in architecture from the Ohio State University, went on to get a PhD in history, and wound up having a career in museums doing development. And I never really thought you could work for two things. I saw them as different. But once I graduated, I got a job where I was doing architecture in museums, and specifically doing restoration work, where I did 19th century domestic interiors. That became my specialty, and I did a whole bunch of those in Ohio. What attracted me to the Hawaiian Mission Houses is it's a really complex site with a really complex history. One of the things I was looking for in my career was going somewhere that I thought was kind of changing what museums were doing in the 21st century. When I looked at the Mele program here and the History Theater program here, I said, this is a place that I could come. It's really doing innovative work, and I think we can move that innovative work to the next level. I've worked on buildings that were the introduction of Western architecture styles into places really on the periphery, in the Caribbean, on the frontier of Ohio. And when I looked at these houses, something put on a ship, brought here to Hawaii, and then built where there's no builders here. There are no people that specialize in a New England style house. And so I was really interested in the adaptations and kind of how things changed when that house got here. This model depicts the Mission compound in about 1850. What you notice is they had one frame house, the 1821 frame house, which is still standing. But immediately after, they began building stone buildings out of coral blocks. The coral taken out of the ground, mined out of old coral areas, and then put into blocks. Now, what amazes me about that is there's not a tradition here of masonry building from the New England style that you see both in this building we're in or Kawahau Church. But there's a tradition of building with stone here, of laying stone. And so you have master stone workers that were capable of adapting into a new architecture style. And as you walk around and look at the buildings here, they're really amazing. And they've stood now over 200 years. But when you look at them, these are the first ones ever built. So this house is not built for this location at all. But there are 19 mission stations all over all of the neighbor islands. And if you look at those houses, immediately when the mission station moved and they built new houses, those are adapted to this climate, and you can see lots of small design changes that were made, big porches, like large lanais, second floor lanais, big windows and doors that can be opened to bring the breeze in. A couple of the things we're doing is this year for the bicentennial, we're expanding the History Theater program to neighbor islands. We'll be doing twice as many performances as we did in last year, which is one of our biggest seasons ever. We're also going to redo the exhibit here. So the exhibit that you see in this room, the first floor of the Chamberlain House, has been the exhibit since around 1995. The main program we'll be doing for the bicentennial is taking this exhibit and kind of revamping it into a new story, weaving multiple narratives through it, and kind of using technology so it's more engaging. At the core of everything that happens at museums is really fundraising, and it's really working with grassroots organizations, local people, and looking at how we work together to fund the stories we want to tell about ourselves. So we will be doing a lot of fundraising around the exhibit, and we will be looking to work with people and partner with other organizations to really strengthen what we're doing here in Hawaii.